The Woman on Route 93. Part 1. The Road Starts Whispering. I've driven a lot of long, dark roads in my life. Some whisper, some hum. But Route 93? That road screams if you listen long enough. It was late October when I picked up the load in Elko, Nevada. 2 pallets of machine parts bound for Tucson. Nothing special. I've hauled stranger cargo, coffins once, for a funeral home chain, and that time I moved an entire circus act in the dead of night. But this job, it should have been simple. Should have. They say a trucker's worst enemy is boredom. That's a lie. It's not boredom. It's the silence. The kind that creeps in when your lights are the only thing carving a path through pitch black nowhere, and the desert seems to hold its breath just for you. I was about 40 miles south of Ely when the CB crackled to life. "Breaker 19, you out there, Jack? You copy?" Manny. Deadhead, Rios. Been riding these highways longer than I had, and that's saying something. We ran loads together sometimes, kept each other awake swapping stories, lies, and bad coffee reviews. I grabbed the mic. "Loud and clear, Deadhead. What's shakin'? You still on 93? Yup, just past marker 187. Ain't seen a car in 20 minutes. You watch yourself down there, hermano. That stretch gets weird after midnight." I chuckled. "What, you mean the ghost of the desert bride crap they talk about at the truck stops?" "I'm serious, Jack." Deadhead wasn't one for ghost stories. He was an army vet who'd driven through combat zones and dodged more than his fair share of flying tires and mountain storms. But right now, his voice had an edge I didn't like. "She walks that road, pale dress, dark hair. Sometimes you see her. Sometimes you don't. But you'll hear her. They all do eventually." "Hear her?" "She whispers. In the cab. In the static. Just keep your eyes open and don't stop. Not for anything." The line went dead. I figured he was messing with me. Halloween was just around the corner after all. Still, something about his tone stuck with me. I turned off the CB, lit a Marlboro, and rolled the window down a crack. The desert air was cold and sharp, like the night had teeth. The road ahead stretched black and empty. No taillights, no oncoming beams, just the endless twin ribbons of highway under moonlight. About 15 minutes later, I saw her. It started as a blur, just a shape on the shoulder ahead, right near an old rusted sign half swallowed by sagebrush. I squinted, slowed down a little. A woman. Long white dress, barefoot, hair like a black curtain down her back. She wasn't thumbing a ride, just standing there, still as a statue, no bag, no flashlight, nothing but her and the wind. I eased off the gas. Then something hit me. The radio flickered back on, all static and high-pitched whining, like a scream buried under white noise. The dash lights dimmed for a second, and the engine stuttered. Just once. That's when she turned to look at me. No eyes, just black holes where they should have been, and a mouth that didn't move, but I heard her, right in my damn head. "Take me home." I floored it. Didn't look back, not even once. The radio died again, and the truck surged forward like it had been holding its breath too. When I finally hit the outskirts of Pioche, an old mining town barely clinging to life, I pulled into a 24-hour diner with a flickering open sign. I sat there in the cab for a good 10 minutes before I could bring myself to go in. Cassie was working the counter. Mid-30s, sharp eyes, too much lipstick. She poured me coffee before I even asked. "You see her?" she said, voice low. I stared. "Out on the 93rd. The woman. You saw her. How the hell do you—" "They all see her eventually. She's been out there since '72. Some say she's looking for her husband. Others say she was the husband, killed in a rollover. The stories change, but the end's always the same. Which is, if you stop, she gets in. Part 2. Cassie's Warning and the Desert, CB. Cassie poured another cup of coffee without asking. Her hands were steady, but her eyes never left mine. "You're lucky she didn't get in," she said. "Once she's in the cab, you ain't alone anymore." The place was empty, just me, her, and the soft hum of a flickering neon pie served all night sign in the corner. I looked down into the cup, dark, bitter, steady, and tried to shake the chill that had settled into my spine like a bad memory. "People talk," I said. "Truckers make stuff up to keep from going crazy out there. Highway ghost stories. I've heard 'em all." "Sure," she said. "But then they go missing, or they come back different." I leaned in. "You believe all this?" Cassie's lips twitched, almost a smile, but not quite. She looked past me, toward the dark windows. "Believe it. Jack, I saw her. 2 years ago, same stretch. I was riding shotgun with my cousin Nate, long haul from Salt Lake. We saw her standing at the edge of the road just like you described. White dress, no shoes, looked like she was waiting." "Did you stop?" She shook her head. "Nate did, against my yelling. Said we couldn't just leave a woman out in the cold like that. As soon as he opened the passenger door, she vanished. Just popped out of existence. Lights flickered and his rig stalled." "Did he get it started again?" "Eventually, but he wasn't the same after. Didn't talk the rest of the trip, quit trucking a month later. Now he just sits on his porch in Henderson, staring at the road like she's gonna show up again." I left the diner around 4 a.m. The sky was starting to bleed a little blue along the horizon, but the darkness still clung to the desert. I wasn't tired, just wired. Couldn't sleep now, even if I wanted to. That's when the CB came alive again. "Breaker 19. You still kicking, Jack?" It was Deadhead. "Yeah," I said. "Just stopped in Pioche. You didn't tell me she could talk." "She talked to you?" In my head, whispered, said, "Take me home." Deadhead was quiet for a long moment. Then, "You didn't stop, did you?" "Hell no." "Good, that's good. Listen, I didn't want to spook you earlier, but I've had my run-ins. We all have. There's something wrong with that stretch. Truckers call it the corridor of silence. Radios cut out, engines stutter. Some say the woman's the spirit of a hitchhiker killed back in the 70s. Others think she's older than the road itself." "Older?" "Like something was already there before they paved Route 93, something that wears a human shape." Deadhead's voice cracked. Static sliced through. "Jack, don't go back. Not tonight. Pull over, sleep. Let the sun burn her off." I wanted to believe him, but I still had miles to make up and a delivery deadline. I told him I'd be careful, signed off, and kept moving south. It was just past dawn when I pulled into an old Chevron station outside a nowhere town called Crystal Springs. Place looked like it had been built in the 60s and never updated. A lone vending machine stood cracked and humming outside the convenience store. The door jingled as I stepped inside. The clerk was a wiry guy with jittery hands and deep-set eyes. Name tag said Dale. He looked up, saw my jacket, and his whole posture changed. "You come from the north?" he asked. "Yeah, Elko, down 93. He blinked like I'd just told him I'd ridden in on a ghost horse. "Did you see her?" I didn't answer. He took that as a yes. "She followed me home once," he whispered. 10 years back. I was hauling scrap out of Caliente, stopped for her. She climbed in, didn't say a word. What happened? Didn't realize it until I looked over and saw her reflection wasn't in the mirror. She just sat there, smiling, then she screamed, like a banshee, and I blacked out. Woke up in a ditch with my nose bleeding and the trailer jackknifed. He rubbed his arms like the memory left a cold trace. She's a passenger, man, a cursed one. And once she's in, you don't drive the truck anymore. That night, I parked near Alamo, close to an abandoned way station off the highway. No more diners, no more stories. Just me and my rig under a bruised Nevada sky. I tried to sleep. But sometime after midnight, I woke up. The cab was cold, freezing, even though the night was mild. And there, in the passenger seat, a faint outline, white dress, dark hair, face turned just slightly toward me. I didn't move, didn't breathe. Then the CB crackled to life again. But it wasn't Deadhead, it wasn't anyone I knew. You said you'd take me home, then silence.